baked dry mud flats of Wyndham in the far northwest of Australia are what Ronno Morgan calls home. His dad grew up here, so too his dad's dad, and now aged 28, Ronno is growing up his family here too.
You can see it? And what's that light over there? Oh, that must be that wolf, eh?
But life for Ronno has always been a bit different from the rest of his mob. His kidneys don't work properly. Wherever he goes, he takes a constant reminder of that. According to the statistics, there's a 50-50 chance he won't make it to 35. Ronno Morgan is in a fight for his life. Wyndham is the oldest town in the Kimberley region of Western Australia. With a population of about 800, Wyndham's glory days as a gold rush town are a long time ago now. Its main claim to fame these days is being the hottest town in Australia. To Ronno, it's paradise.
What's the duty? And what? Laughing? Good day. It's only a small town, so, you know, you blink, you miss it. But, yeah, as small as it is, and, you know, with the hot temperatures and stuff like that, it's still home to me, and nowhere else I'd rather be, you know, than here. Yeah, this house here that we're coming up to is my Nana Phyllis' house. That one there. That's my mum's mum. She loves her gardening. A lot of good bamboo. And this house here, this is the house we used to live in.
Ronno grew up surrounded by family, with 3 big sisters and a little brother.
I remember my sister chasing me around when we used to have arguments and fight when we were young. You know, whenever we get into argument, my sister would get the best of me, so I'd take it out on their dolls and go wreck their dolls, cut their hair, and, yeah, make life miserable for them. Can you get your bag? Is it Tara Baradine? Did you do any paintings or what?
No.
Oh, nothing?
I didn't be naughty.
You didn't be naughty?
No.
Oh, good boy. Daddy's really happy then.
Ronno's early years were much like his son, CJ. But at age 5, his life took a dramatic turn for the worse.
I took Ronald into Wyndham Hospital on a Saturday night. He was complaining about backaches, and it woke him up and his face was pretty flushed, and you know, he was in a lot of pain. I woke up and I sort of sat by his bed and sort of rubbed him down, and then after a while he sort of had a little bit of a temp, so I took him up to the hospital, and they had a look at him and did all of his obs and found that he wasn't well. Later on that afternoon, you know, they did a blood test and found that there was something wrong with him. So we stayed in the hospital Tuesday night. Wednesday, they flew us down to Perth. And by Thursday, he was in ICU and they didn't expect him to live. They said that, you know, he'd had kidney failure and, yeah, so he was not expected to last the night. And when I was told that he needed a kidney transplant, I was shocked. And, yeah, I got very emotional. Wow. Sorry.
At that point, when we did investigations, we found his kidneys were really very small and he was in what we call end-stage renal disease or terminal kidney failure. I gave him a relatively low chance of long-term survival because of the remote area he came from and the poor nutritional state and wasted condition that he was in. And all this led to me to think that this was maybe a mountain too high to climb in terms of getting him back on track. And in the long term, he would not have survived on dialysis.
They said to me, you know, Ronald could have a kidney transplant. One of the girls could give him a kidney. And at the time, they're only about 8, 9, 10. So I said, no, it won't be any of my daughters because I'd rather be tested first. So on the 17th of January, 1989, we had our transplant.
The transplant was a great success, and the operation saved Ronald's life. It was the first of its kind between an Aboriginal mother and son in Western Australia and made news all over the country.
This is 5-year-old Ronno Morgan. Just 7 weeks ago, he was a weak, lifeless boy suffering from kidney failure and needing emergency surgery. Now, thanks to a new kidney donated by his mother Maria, Ronald is a bright and healthy child, full of boundless energy, with a new life to look forward to. When his mother was found to be compatible, she had little difficulty making the decision.
When I said I was going to do it and we were told that I was compatible, I didn't think about it. I just had to do it, I suppose. For me, it's just like, you know, whatever's going to help our son to live longer. Once I'd made that decision, I didn't think about anything else. It's like, bang, test me, okay. It was like, just do what has to be done, and that's it.
And for Ronald, he now has the chance to look forward to his next birthday.
You know what, after 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna put 6.
Next week, Maria will take Ronald back.
I always remember Ronald as a little boy that never complained and was just really stoic and I guess a little fighter, you know, a little boy that had a positive outlook on life and just got on with things and accepted the pain and discomfort and trauma associated with all these procedures.
A very special bond between mother and son, or donor and recipient, was formed. For Maria and Colin, life post-transplant returned to normal. They continued the job of raising their own children, plus took on a few more, and in the early 90s started up Wundagadi Aboriginal safaris.
We started this up and never looked back, and that's one of the things I look forward to every year because we're at home, and then once the tour starts, it's a totally different world, and it makes me feel alive, you know, like it's just awesome. It's for me, it's just so rewarding.
When men pack, mate, we've got a certain way of packing. We just throw things in, and we get into trouble.
Yeah, it's a dream job. You know, people pay us to go on holidays with them.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, they just pick up the phone and go, oh, Maria Morgan, I'd like to go, blah, blah, blah. Can you come with us and we'll pay you? Yep, no worries.
This is for me, mate, when I play up. My wife's giving me a bit of a bashing with this.
The fact that I'd given Ronald a kidney over 20-odd years ago, and I say to people, I'm living proof that you can do something like this and still live a good, healthy lifestyle. And with our tour business, I mean, Colin and I are, you know, real sticklers for making sure that we are healthy. The last thing we want to do is take people trekking on a tour, then cark it in front of your customers. So, you know, you don't want to do that.
Wundagadi Safaris is a true family-run business. Everyone has a role to play. Growing up, Ronno was the entertainer, playing and teaching the didgeridoo and telling Dreamtime stories. Life was good. He finished his schooling, joined the police force as an Aboriginal police liaison officer, then married his wife Coralie, and they started a family of their own. The gift of life his mum seeded had certainly flourished. But in the last few years, results from regular checkups were starting to reveal what his doctor, Kevin Wall, knew was inevitable. That his mum's kidney was slowly failing.
Okay, all right.
And I was sitting in one of the little small office, and he was across from me and looking on the computer at the same time, and then he looked at me and told me the bad news, and then just like, oh, my guts turned, and you know, it just, and then I was thinking, oh, well, where do I go to from here?
At the time that I first told Ronald that this was what was inevitably going to happen, I think he was pretty shocked because he clearly had no symptoms. He was working in a full-time job. He was pretty shocked that this kidney wasn't going to last a whole lifetime.
I didn't know that the transplant kidney, it's got a certain life expectancy of it. I thought, you know, as soon as it's in, bang, I'm cured forever. Yeah, it was very disheartening, really, to have that put on you, especially when you're in the middle of all these good stuff. You've got plans for your life and, you know, with kids and your wife and stuff like that. All that plan just seemed to go out the window once you hear that, and then you just scrub that. It's like scrubbing off the whiteboard and starting again.
Ronno hung on in Wyndham as long as he could, but the distressing symptoms associated with kidney failure finally caught up with him. He's been forced to relocate himself and his young family to Perth to begin haemodialysis. Hemo is like a washing machine for your blood, cleaning out the toxins and removing excess fluid. And it does the job of a normally functioning kidney very effectively. But it means being plugged into the machine for 4 to 5 hours at a time, 3 days a week.
And I still can't even look at it, go in or anything. You know, some of the others can even needle themselves, but as you can see, I can't even look at the needle going in my own body, so I don't think I can do that. Not yet, anyway.
Ronno is not alone. Dialysis is the most common reason for Indigenous people to be admitted to hospital, making up almost half of all Indigenous hospital admissions.
It opened our eyes, well, my eyes, when I came down here and seen how many people were actually on it. The first day I walked into the one at Royal Perth with Ron, I was shocked. I looked at him and said, is this how many's on there? And he reckons, yeah. They were like every single chair full with somebody in the same situation.
In Ronald's case, he had a congenital disorder that led to kidney failure at a young age. But kidney disease can occur at any age, and it can occur from many different medical conditions or illnesses. The interesting thing about kidney disease in Aboriginal populations is that occurs 2 or even maybe 3 decades earlier. So instead of people in their late middle age predominantly developing kidney failure, we're talking about young people, even if they don't have a congenital problem as Ronno had.
Ronno is one of the lucky ones, enjoying the support of a tight-knit family. But many others are stranded hundreds, if not thousands of kilometres from their country, culture and family. Stalled indefinitely in the grinding routine of dialysis.
I don't really want to break down in front of my kids or my wife because, you know, she does a lot, and, you know, me stressing out would just add on more thing for her, you know, and that's the last thing I want. Okay. I'll see you after, okay? Daddy pick you up, eh? Okay then. Yeah, no worries then. Yeah, you draw me picture, see? Things not all bad. I mean, I can still get up, I'll still walk around. I still drive around, I can take my kids to parks and play with them, you know? Some dads can't do that, you know? And some kids don't have dads, so I look at it in every light that I can to say that, you know, I'm still good. I'm still fine. You know, I still got my family with me. And always try and flip it around quicker. So, you know, I don't want to get into a dark place and, you know, and then start crying, why me, you know? Because I'd done that before I come down. You know, I asked the question, why me? And you know what, nobody answered me.
Ronno is staying with relatives whilst in Perth, but across Australia there are more than 1,000 Indigenous people living in hostel or rental accommodation, trying to navigate their way through city life and a complex health system.
The hardest thing is because I don't have a job financially and I've got bills to pay, you know, it's just, that's the hardest thing. I feel like I'm a big burden on my family's shoulders, and which I'm not used to. I'm not used to asking for help. You know, I'd rather do things by myself. I don't really like to ask anybody for, you know, money and stuff like that just to help me get me through. I'd rather work for it. I want to get back up home and, you know, just to be back around family and go back to work and stuff. You know, my kids are crying to go back. They like it back up there. There's more freedom. Go back bush, go back fishing, you know, and all that good stuff that you got back up there. I won't be back for Christmas, but maybe in the new year.
It's now March, and Ronno is continuing his chemo treatment in Perth alone. His sister Colleen has moved back home for support as the family once again rallies around Ronno in his time of need.
It was a bit of a shock for all of us. Because we saw him when he was younger, and it was, you know, really, we nearly lost him, and we didn't really know, you know, we just thought that it was just the one. Once he had a kidney operation, it would last a long time, but yeah, so I was in Sydney when my mum rang, and yeah, it was just full on from then, I guess. We sort of decided, well, I decided straight away, you know, to go for the testing and see if I was compatible to donate a kidney. So it wasn't sort of a hard choice to make. I mean, if it means he's going to be around for his kids, then, you know, and we get to have our brother around a bit longer, then yeah.
To receive a kidney transplant from within his own family again would be the ideal scenario for Ronno. So for now, it's a waiting game to see if Colleen is a compatible donor. It took 9 months of chemo treatment in Perth to get Ronno back on track. Back home, he's moved into his parents' spare room to save money and has learned a different form of dialysis called peritoneal dialysis.
Doing PD, peritoneal dialysis, you have to always be clean, your hands always have to be washed, and, you know, you have to keep real clean. Because my kidneys have failed, I can't, you know, my body can't filter the bad products and the waste products out like it normally does. What it does, it goes into my stomach, and the membrane around my stomach acts as a normal filter, and it absorbs all the bad fluid through that. The waste product, as you can see, goes into the bottom one, and then the new liquid goes in and just continuously gives me a good dialysis session. You're watching me have a leak. Yeah, my son, he likes saying that. Yep, Daddy, that's your bumble, eh? For bungle, for piss. It's better doing this one, doing it 4 times a day, 45 minutes, out of the day, than 4 hours, than getting off hemo and having headaches. As soon as I get off hemo, what I do is go back and lay down. And that's all my day, Had no time in the day to do anything, really. What I normally do is get up, and like when you do take a normal piss, you do a bit of a shake. So, yeah, that's all I do is just do a bit of a shimmy and dance around, and the kids love it. I see their daddy dancing with no music on. And I think that's him. And now that is draining into me.
The reason why he's performing peritoneal dialysis rather than hemodialysis is that it allows him to live where he wants to live and not be tied to a single place, which he would be if he was performing hemodialysis. Although many of them put on a very brave front while they're in Perth, you didn't realise just how sad and lonely and and lost they were in Perth. And then you go up and you see the same people in Broome or Kununurra or Fitzroy or wherever they come from, and it's just chalk and cheese.
The vast open spaces of Wyndham are a long way from the sterile city dialysis centres. But the freedom that comes with the PD bags can't last forever. Over time, peritoneal dialysis becomes less effective. Eventually, the toxins and excess fluids are likely to build up in Ronno's body again, and he'll need to start looking at alternative forms of treatment.
Whenever we see someone, for example, in Ronno's situation, where they have a failing transplant, the first thought is further transplant going to be an option? From my point of view, I'm personally satisfied that Ronald is an excellent candidate for retransplantation, and the best option for anyone who is suitable for a transplant is to find a friend or a family member who's willing to donate them a kidney, so live kidney donation. And roughly 50% of our transplants we do here every year are now live kidney transplants.
As Ronno awaits the test results from his sister Colleen, he has also been placed on the deceased donor wait list. But finding a good match for Indigenous patients on the waiting list is rare, because only a few donors are highly compatible.
It's a decision which has been made, for better or worse, about what's the fairest and most equitable way to allocate organs. And so they're allocated according to an algorithm which says that the more similar you are, the less the chance is that you'll a priori reject that organ than someone who is quite dissimilar.
This disadvantage means that Indigenous people suitable for transplant can wait more than twice as long as non-Indigenous patients, with times often extending beyond 5 years.
Put it there and then we'll see how long it is.
Getting ready for me and the missus' 30th, and the theme of the party was superheroes, but then everybody said, oh, well, what if can we dress as somebody famous? Because, you know, a lot of people around here don't look like superheroes, look like superheroes retiring. Yeah, so it's just a big fancy dress with superhero themes and cartoon characters and even game characters coming out. So should be good. Isn't it? No? Yeah.
No, just keep it there. Listen.
Reaching 30 is a milestone moment for anybody, but for Ronno, it has particular significance. So far, he's beating the odds and living a fairly normal life, but his body's need for a transplant kidney is increasing all the time.
I'm still good enough to work, if I can pick up jobs here and there, keep my mind busy. Try not to be so anxious into getting a kidney because I know how long you could wait. If I put all my energy and time into this one thing, then I'll miss everything else. You know, I'll miss the time with my kids, I'll miss connecting with my wife, my family. All the real important stuff in my life, I'll miss just because I'm waiting on this one thing.
Just 2 months after his 30th birthday, Ronno is back in Perth. There is a serious complication with his mum's kidney. Intense abdominal pain and blood in his urine indicate that Ronno's body has finally fully rejected his mother's transplant kidney.
Got up at 4:45, showered, doing a dialysis and getting ready for my ops this morning. I'll be getting transplant kidney pulled out, and hopefully all goes well. I think it's a 2-hour procedure. So yeah, bit nervous. I think I'm nervous because of the kidney that they're pulling out. Helped me survive for maybe 24 years, 23, 24 years. And it's just been with me since I was small, and it's gonna be, I think, strange and empty. Well, it will be empty because it'll be gone. But yeah, just, I don't know, to me, it might feel a bit strange later on, and then I'll always be touching my stomach and thinking, you know, where's that kidney going and stuff. Feel almost like a robot, you know. They're gonna put in new body parts and stuff like that for me. That's why I always refer myself to a car. As you can see at the moment, I'm dropping my oil, putting in some fresh one. And soon they're going to be taking out the fuel filter and yeah, changing it over, and just got to wait for a new fuel filter to get put back in. Yeah, feel a little bit like Frankenstein without the blooming screw through the neck. Hey, what the matter, my baby? I miss you too. I miss you big as the sky. Daddy Then he's gonna go in for a big operation soon. This morning. I'm unlocking.
The kidney that gave so much life from mother to son has lasted more than 20 years, but now it's gone. And Ronno is right back where he started as a small 5-year-old boy, in real need of a transplant kidney. Ronno has been allowed to return to Wyndham post-operation to continue his home dialysis. But there's no good news on the donor kidney front. After over 6 months of waiting, results have shown that his sister will not make a compatible donor.
It is, sad that I can't do it because it just means that, I can just book a date, go in and do the transplant, But, I don't let it get in my way. I just said, wasn't meant to be then. So, and just moved on.
The preference for a live donor from within is gone, but the family has been offered another option.
One of them, my older sister, got the option of doing I think it's a 4-way cross or something like that, where she gives her kidney to another kidney patient, and the donor for that kidney patient will give me his one if it all matches.
The 4-person swap his sister has been offered is known as the Paired Kidney Exchange Program. For Ronno, this would mean at least he would get a live donor kidney, but not from within his own family. The kidney he receives would be from a total stranger.
When I think about it, it does feel funny. It feels a bit cold. I go cold and think, I'm going to have somebody else's body organ in me helping me live, and it does, I don't know, I think a mental thing does get a bit weird, I suppose.
Ronno's live donor options are running out, and it's now been more than a year on the deceased donor list without result.
I think Ronno, like everyone else who's on dialysis, is on the transplant waiting list, is watching every day go by in the hope that today will be the day then when something happens. Yeah. I wouldn't say he's depressed, but, he's not bubbly. And hopefully we can keep him well dialysed, and, then it's just a matter of time.
Ronald's doing well. He's pretty positive. I think he's just sort of sick of being stuck at home, having to go on dialysis every 4 hours is a bit restrictive, so it doesn't give him enough time to do what he'd like to do. It can only become as much of a burden as you allow it to be, and I think because he's so positive, it's not that much of a burden.
Maria is well aware that Ronno needs another kidney, but this time there's little she can do to help him, and she feels a little uncomfortable with the idea of the paired kidney exchange.
For me as a mother, if my daughter's going to give a kidney to help her brother to somebody that's a total stranger, then it has to be, we want to make sure that he's been given a good kidney, not one that's not a healthy one, basically. So that's something we need to deal with, and we just don't know where to go to from here. That's really the bottom line.
For Colleen and her younger sister Becky, the decision on whether or not to join the paired kidney exchange is complicated by the concern that having only one kidney might increase the risk of poor health during pregnancy.
I don't really want them to jeopardize their life in the way of, their life plan if they want to have kids and stuff, just for me. And I try not to, get in the way of them going through their testing, because to me it's kind of like urging them on to do it. So the more I stay away from their business, then the better I feel, So I know for myself that I don't have any kind of input on it.
It's now nearly Christmas again, marking 2 years since Ronno's journey to another transplant began. The ongoing demand of dialysis 4 times a day is starting to wear him down. The paired kidney option with his sisters looks less and less likely, and the reality that there's a very low chance of finding a suitable deceased donor kidney is starting to sink in. It's hard to remain positive when each day waiting for the call that might give him new life never happens. For now, it's another bag and another visit to the doctor and another day when he gets just a bit more bad news.
You know how I press there, and if I can make a dent, there's probably a couple of litres in that leg and a couple of litres in that leg. That's how far over you are. And I don't think...
So he's got a problem which is not all that uncommon in people who are on peritoneal dialysis, where his membrane, peritoneal membrane, isn't working as we would like, and so he's retaining fluid. Every time we put a bag in, he's retaining fluid.
Still going? Oh, still going? Yeah. Beautiful. All right.
In which case, if he doesn't get a transplant reasonably soon, then we're probably going to have to seriously look at changing to hemodialysis.
1-3 times a day and taking 2 of the calcium.
We've had a couple of kidneys where, he was on the list, not having antibodies against that donor, but he was a fair way down the list in terms of the pecking order for getting the kidney. And other people were considered a better match and a better recipient than him.
He said a couple of times I came close to getting another kidney.
Who's it that?
Dr. Keb.
What did they
Yeah, because there's a lot of other people who's waiting in line and probably is there longer than me, so, and it doesn't worry me on that. I'm not too fussed on waiting. It's just while I'm waiting, all this treatment and shit like that, I want to get right.
If they've got someone that they can give a kidney to, how much longer do you have to wait before they give you one? Straight away. So they'll have someone already in the books that's wanting to do a pairing?
Yeah. What they do is go into the system, and then whatever matches they come up with, that the other person thinks, then they'll have to find a donor that will suit mine.
Oh, okay.
I'll get the numbers for you, Mo. And that's if you want to do it.
Yes.
So, yeah, and so What I'm going to do is just play around with all them options and see what the best one is. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be on full-time hemo because, you know, then I won't have a life.
Against all odds, the miracle they'd been praying for has finally happened. Ronno has been offered a kidney.
Okay. Apparently, if you took the commercial flight tomorrow, the kidney they've got for you might not be viable.
All right.
So you're coming with us.
The less time his new kidney has to spend on ice awaiting him is critical. So the decision has been made to fly him straight through to Perth on the Royal Flying Doctor Service for the transplant operation.
Yeah, let Anisha know.
And I'll let Becky know because she texted me too.
Yeah.
No worries. I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.
Yep.
I'll ring your mum and then let them know you're going straight through.
Yeah.
She'll be up waiting.
The last time I left from Wyndham in Royal Flying Doctor, I was 5 years old. And all I can remember was looking up into the ceiling of the plane and my mum next to me. And then last night I got that emotion last night. Like they didn't explain much to me about the donor and stuff. But the feeling that I had inside of me said, this is the one I felt. Oh yeah, sorry.
On Mother's Day, the 12th of May 2014, Ronno successfully received his second kidney transplant. One Mother's Day gift is another's loss. Ronno's new kidney has come from a young donor following the death of a child.
The aim was to give a young person a young kidney that could last him for his life. And that's how the decision was taken after the cross match. The nephrologist took the decision that Ronald was an ideal patient to get that kidney. The good thing, and I was really happy with it, is it started to make urine on table. And so that just suggests the quality of the kidney and the way it started to function on table even before we closed his abdomen. So that was very good. So hopefully tomorrow we can get you home.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the clinic.
You know, I keep asking myself why didn't someone have to die to let me live, and, you know, just taking that into consideration, I think that, well, I'm here for a purpose, so I need to do something. You know, I need to do something to honor the donor, and do something for myself to know that I've given all that I can to prove to the donor that his kidney didn't go to waste, you know, or gone to somebody that didn't appreciate it. So, yeah.
After 3 months in Perth post-operation, Ronno is easing himself back into Kimberley life and back on tour working with his parents.
any parent, all you really want for your children is for them to have good health and to be like decent human beings with good health. Everything else comes after wealth and everything else. So we were happy for him, but we were also sad that the age of his donor was one that we'd never expected, and the fact that that mother gave this mother a chance to have my son be able to have a better quality of life and to be able to live like any normal person with a spouse and children. If we ever had the chance, I'd like to say to them, you've given your loved one's kidney to someone who would be a very worthy recipient. Having had my kidney for 23 and a half years, I know he will look after this other one as well as possible. Yep. Yeah.
One of the things I looked at Ronald when he came back, I looked at his colour of his skin, and it was shining again. Before, it was dull, very dull, and his movement. And looking at him now, just like a newborn baby. It makes me so happy. I'm so happy as a father. Yeah.
Ronno has a new kidney, but his journey to full-time health is not yet over. After 5 years, only 1 in 2 kidneys transplanted into Indigenous recipients will still be working.
The reality is that, sort of at the present time, 50% 5-year graft and patient survivals are what we're talking about for all comers. Now, I think Ronno's, for reasons which we understand in his case, he's probably much better than that, or certainly much better than that. But, that's the reality we face. I see a lot of what I've been doing for the last 20 years and what we continue to do is applying Band-Aids to problems, putting people on dialysis, building satellite dialysis units. And so if you truly want to reduce the incidence of kidney and other chronic disease in Aboriginal populations, then you've got to address the issues of why they are occurring, which principally is disadvantage, Therefore, these aren't problems that kidney doctors can fix. At best, we can only ever apply Band-Aids.
It's much better now for both of us. Ronald's more active, so that's good. He's actually doing cooking and stuff now, so it's really good. Give me a bit of a break. With Ron, I think it might be the kids as well, keeping him going, keeping him motivated and doing stuff, and even homework, because I'm not that good at maths and stuff, and I just pan it off to Ron and I just tell him to sit there and do it with Kendra, and he likes it.
Been really busy lately. Just finished up my first tag-along tours, and I got elected to be the chairman of the Balangara Aboriginal Corporation. Really, at the end of the day, is my heart goes to my people, and looking for ways to help my people, gain employment and more opportunities to better their lifestyle as well, but also their kids' life and for the future as well. I feel like this is just the first step forward to, honouring the young man that had his life suddenly taken away from him, and gave me a second chance at life as well, probably a third chance at life now. And I would really want to do everything I can to fulfill it, fulfill my promise to him as well.
Wake up early morning, white gums are a-blooming and shedding all its bark. Mushroom clouds are building, monsoon rain is coming, black ants